Now I have created my rectangle class, and I need to show you how we're going to use this class as a blueprint to generate multiple objects. So I'm going to create another class here. Let me call it rooms areas, and this class acts as the main class. Sometimes we call it the driver. However, this is the class that we're going to define the main method. And then inside the main method, we're going to use the rectangle class to create objects. So I need to write the main method here. And now I need to use the rectangle class to define an object for the kitchen, for the living room, and for the bedrooms. So I added here a comment. So we need to create the kitchen, living room, and bedroom objects. How can we do this? Now remember, we start defining the object by using the class. So we need to write the class name. The class name here is rectangle. And again, the IDE helped me to determine which class. So give me the list of all the defined classes in this project. So the class is called rectangle, and I need to build or to define an object for the kitchen. So I call it here kitchen. This is here creates a location in the computer memory called kitchen, and kitchen going to hold a reference to the main objects, and the main objects going to be created once I write here new, and again the class name and semicolon. This line here create an object and assign this object to kitchen, and that is of type rectangle. We need to do the same thing for the living room. And we need to create the third object for bedroom, and we follow the same style. And look, now here I used that one class called rectangle, and that class act as a blueprint to generate 3 objects. So these 3 objects are derived from one class. Good. Now we need to use this object in order to determine the areas. But in order to determine the area, we need to send to these objects the length and the width for each one of them. To do so, we need to get the value from the user about the length and the width. To do so, I need to declare a new variable. I call it input of type double, and this variable simply to hold the user input. And we're going to use the scanner object to ask the user for the length and the width, and send it to the object. Now I'm going to use the keyboard object to get the value from the user and save it to the kitchen length, and then another one to save it to the kitchen width. So I'm going to prompt the user to enter the length of the kitchen and assign this value to the input. So I have here the input to store the value from the keyboard object. So I need here to use next double. So this line here will get the double value from the user and save it in the input. Now I need to assign this value to the length of the kitchen. So I'm going to use the kitchen object, and then I need to call the method setLength. Simply by hit dot, the IDE will give me all the available public method defined in my class. So I need to set the length, and I need to send here a double value. And again, I look at the IDE, help me that say that we need a parameter here for my argument, which is called len, but I don't need to write len. I need to write here the value that's going to be sent to the len, and the value here is what I have received from the keyboard, which is input. So this line here use the set method for that object kitchen and send the value we assign it to the variable input. We need to do the same thing for the width. So we're going to again copy this, repeat it here again, and we need to display enter the width of the kitchen, and then I'm going to use the same variable again and assign the new entered double value, and here I need to call another method. We need to call here set width, and also I need to send the value for this input to the method set width. So far these lines of code to get the length and the width for the kitchen, we need to do the same thing, one for the living room and another one for the bedroom. So I just copy and paste this code. I need to change now the naming. So this is for a living room, and one more time for the bedroom. Good, so I'm ready now to display the result of the calculations. So as I did, I'm going to copy and paste this because I'm converting these lines to be in the form of objects. So I have it here. Again, I'm going to assume the same command, display the dimension and the areas for the rooms. And here we need to display the dimension of the kitchen, and then I don't have kitchen length and kitchen width, but I can use the kitchen object to get the length. So if I write here the kitchen object, then I can call the method get length. And also I don't have here the width, kitchen width. However, I can use the object kitchen and invoke the method get width. And here we need to print the area, and I don't have any variable for the area here. However, we can use again the kitchen object and simply call get area. We're going to repeat the same thing here for the other three rooms. Good, so let's look back to the original code. So I finish converting these three printing statements. Now I need to convert the last printing statement. So I'm going to accept all of these as is, and instead of, because we don't have an area here and we didn't do any calculation for the area, and the area will be calculated inside the object itself. So I'm going to call the kitchen object, and I need to get the area from that object. And same thing for the living room. I'm going to call the method get area. And the last one for the bedroom object, I'm going to get the area, so by calling the method get area. By doing so, we already now converted this main method to one class that define the variable for length and width, and then defined how to do the area, to calculate the area. And inside the main program here, I define 3 objects instead of repeating the data and its operation. And whenever I need this data, I'm using the get method. So let us go ahead and run this program. Again, I'm going to run the main method. And as expected here, the system asked me for the length for the kitchen. Let me write the same numbers I used in my previous example. And then the same thing for the living room. And one more time for the bedroom. And you can see here, we got the same results. So this is now a simple example to show you how we create a class, and then from this class we can create multiple objects, and you know now how to invoke the method inside this object. I hope you find this video informative and helpful. Again, if you have any question, please raise it during our live lectures. Goodbye.